The Pyramid of Egypt. There was a great king named Khufu. He ruled over his people for many years and was loved by all of his subjects. But as he grew older, he began to think about his legacy. They were excited at the prospect of building such a monumental structure, but they soon ran into problems. But then they needed to figure out how to build it. They had never built anything like this before and didn't know where to start. After many failed attempts and much trial and error, they finally figured it out. The Egyptians were incredibly precise and skilled builders, and they had designed the pyramid with great care. The walls were perfectly smooth, and the angles were so precise that the pyramid is often referred to as the oldest and most accurate structure in the world. They would use huge blocks of limestone and granite, which they would haul up ramps and place one on top of the other until they reached the desired height. And hieroglyphics, which depicted scenes from Egyptian mythology and told the story of the pharaoh. They also built a series of tunnels and chambers, including one that was 150 feet deep. It was intended to be the pharaoh's final resting place, and they filled it with treasures and provisions for the afterlife. They used these skills to create structures that are still standing today. To be standing at the base of a pyramid and looking up at its towering height, knowing that it was being built one block at a time, would have been an incredible experience. The sheer size and grandeur of the pyramids would have been awe-inspiring and humbling. They also tell the story of the people who built them. Thousands of workers were employed to build the pyramids, and they worked for years to complete them. The materials used to build the pyramids were also impressive. Built as a tomb for the 4th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh Khufu around 2580 BC, it is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one to remain largely intact. Standing at 481 feet or 147 meters tall, it was the tallest man-made structure in the world for over 3,800 years, until the Lincoln Cathedral was built in 1311. The Egyptians decorated the inside with intricate paintings and hieroglyphics that depict scenes from Egyptian mythology and tell the story of Pharaoh Khufu. It is also a symbol of the power and wealth of ancient Egypt. Despite this, the Great Pyramid of Giza still stands as a testament to the ingenuity and skill of the ancient Egyptians. It is a wonder of the ancient world that has survived the test of time and continues to inspire awe and wonder in those who see it. The pyramid is thought to have been built using the labor of 100,000 workers, and it took an estimated 2 million man-hours to complete. The cost of building the pyramid in today's money would be in the billions. They also built a series of tunnels and chambers, including a 150-foot deep shaft that was intended to be used for religious ceremonies. The Egyptians used huge blocks of limestone and granite, which they hauled up ramps and placed one on top of the other. The Egyptians used huge blocks of limestone and granite, some weighing up to 80 tons, and they cut them with incredible precision to create the smooth, flawless surfaces of the pyramid. The accuracy of the angles and alignment of the pyramid is also remarkable. It is believed that the Egyptians used advanced techniques to align the pyramid with the cardinal points of the compass, with the precision of the measurements still being debated by experts today. The precision with which the pyramids were built is truly amazing. The walls are perfectly smooth, and the angles are so precise that the pyramids are often referred to as the oldest and most accurate structure in the world. The pyramids were built by skilled laborers who were paid for their work. The Egyptians decorated the inside of the pyramids with beautiful paintings and hieroglyphics, which depicted scenes from Egyptian mythology and told the story of the pharaoh. They also built a series of tunnels and chambers, including one that was 150 feet deep. They were not slaves or prisoners of war, as some have claimed. The Egyptians believed that the pharaoh was a god, and they wanted to ensure that he would have everything he needed in the afterlife. So they placed his sarcophagus, made of solid gold, at the center of the chamber, surrounded by precious jewels and artifacts. To think that these structures were created without modern technology is truly amazing. The precision and accuracy of the pyramids are a testament to the skill and knowledge of the ancient Egyptians. They were able to create structures that are still standing today because they paid attention to detail and followed mathematical principles. The pyramids are a lasting legacy of ancient Egypt and a reminder of the greatness of this ancient civilization. Each pyramid is a tomb for a pharaoh, and each one is filled with treasures and artifacts from the time period. They give us a window into the past and allow us to learn about a civilization that lived thousands of years ago. The paintings and hieroglyphics found in the pyramids tell the story of the pharaohs and their beliefs about the afterlife. They give us a glimpse into a world that we can only imagine. They are a symbol of hope and perseverance and a testament to the human spirit. But despite their flaws, the pyramids remain one of the greatest achievements of ancient Egypt and a wonder of the ancient world. They couldn't agree on what shape the pyramid should be. Some wanted it to be square, others wanted it to be triangular. So they placed his sarcophagus, made of solid gold, at the center of the chamber, surrounded by precious jewels and artifacts. Men would haul the massive stones up the ramps, using ropes and pulleys, and then lift them into place with levers and rollers. As the pharaohs grew wealthier and more powerful, they became more isolated from their people. The construction of the pyramids required so many resources and manpower that it drained the economy and the common folk suffered. The gap between the rich and poor grew wider and wider, and eventually it led to unrest and rebellion. It took an estimated 2 million man-hours to complete, and when it was finished, it was the tallest structure in the world. It took thousands of workers and a huge amount of time and resources, but slowly the pyramid began to take shape. For centuries, people have been fascinated by the pyramids and their construction. Many theories have been proposed about how the Egyptians built such a monumental structure without modern technology. Some believe that the Egyptians used advanced tools and techniques that we have yet to discover. Others argue that the pyramids were built by slaves or prisoners of war. However, most historians agree that the pyramids were built by skilled laborers who were paid for their work. And still, others argued for a circular design. What would people remember him for? What would be left behind when he was gone? One day, while walking through the palace, he came across an old and worn-out step pyramid. It had been built by one of his predecessors, and it wasn't very impressive. But an idea struck Khufu like a bolt of lightning. Why not build a pyramid that would be the tallest and grandest structure in the world, something that would last for eternity and be a testament to his greatness? He called together the best architects and engineers in Egypt and told them of his vision. After much debate and discussion, they finally agreed on a triangular shape, which they believed would be the most stable and long-lasting. The construction of the pyramid began, and it was hard, dangerous work. As the years went by, layer upon layer of stone was added until the pyramid reached a height of 481 feet or 147 meters. But it wasn't just the height of the pyramid that made it so impressive, but the Egyptians weren't done yet. They decorated the inside of the pyramid with beautiful paintings. But even these preparations were not enough. The Egyptians believed that the pharaoh was a god. They wanted to ensure that he would have everything he needed in the afterlife. However, not everyone was happy with the construction of the pyramids. In the end, the pharaoh's obsession with building bigger and better pyramids led to their downfall. They are a testament to the ingenuity and hard work of the ancient Egyptians and a reminder of their belief in the afterlife. The Egyptians were incredibly talented engineers and architects, and they had a deep understanding of mathematics and astronomy. It is hard to imagine what it must have been like to live in a time when the pharaohs were building pyramids. But the pyramids aren't just impressive because of their size and construction. They also tell the story of a civilization. But the pyramids don't just tell the story of the pharaohs. The construction of the pyramids was a massive undertaking that required a lot of manpower and resources. The interior of the pyramids is just as impressive as their exterior. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest and oldest of the 3 pyramids in the Giza Plateau, is widely considered to be one of the most iconic and enduring structures in human history. The construction of the pyramid is a marvel of engineering and mathematics. The interior of the pyramid is just as impressive as its exterior. But the Great Pyramid of Giza is more than just a marvel of engineering and mathematics. The pyramid was looted numerous times throughout history, with the first recorded attempt being by Caliph Alman ibn Rashid in the 9th century AD. Now, let's move on to the next wonder of the ancient world.